Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to an English lesson with me, Mr. Cameron. Now, you might not have seen me before because I actually teach at a school in Broadstone in Poole. It's called Springdale First School, although I do go around to lots of different schools because it's part of my training because I always want to see what other schools are doing so I can bring it back to my own school to help improve the children's learning here. Now, I'm the assistant head teacher at Springdale, but I also teach in year 3 in a class called Otters. So every now and then you might see my little friend pop up called Ollie the Otter. He likes to keep me company, especially when I get nervous. So as I said, I'll be teaching some English with you. And the first lesson I'm going to be teaching is a reading lesson about a book that is one of my favorites. It's called The Way Home for Wolf. But first of all, I might have a bit of a warm-up game to see if we can get our brains all fired up. So bear with me while I share my screen. Okay. So here you should see a whole heap of different words on your screen. Okay, I like to play a game called Fastest Finger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call out a word, and then I'm going to see if you can point your finger at that word as quick as you can. So let's have a look. Let's see if you can find the word school. Excellent work. There it is, up the top there. Okay, let's have a look at another one. Can you find the word laptop? Laptop. Excellent work. Here it is here. Well done. Okay, let's see if I can get a little bit trickier with you. Can you find the word ocean? Ocean. A whale lives in an ocean. Beautiful. There it is over there. Okay, I'm going to mix it up for you a little bit. Can you find a word that is a month in a year? There's a month in the year there. Can you find it? I'll give you a hint. It will start with a capital letter. Have you found it? Excellent work. Yes, it's February. Very tricky to say that and very tricky to spell as well. I always get stuck with that. Okay, let's have a look. Can you find the word gnome? See if you can find the word gnome. There was a gnome in my garden. There it is there. Now, did you notice something tricky about the word gnome? Excellent work. The sound N is with a G and an N. It's a digraph. It's a very tricky spelling there. One last one. Let's see if you can find the word fearless. Fearless. The soldier was fearless. Whoa, you got that very quickly. There it is. Fearless. And that less there is a suffix. Okay, meaning I don't have any fear. Excellent work. Well done. You were very good at that, boys and girls. So what I'm going to do now is show you one of my stories. Now, before I share stories with my children, I like to go through some of the words that we're going to come across to make sure that they know what they mean. So I'm going to share my screen again and go through some of those words. Oh, that's not the right one. That's the actual story I want to share. See, made a silly mistake there, but that's okay. Here it is. It actually was on this screen here. So these are some of the words that we're going to come through in our story that you may or may not have heard before. So you're going to hear the word throng. And a throng is just a large group, okay? So there was a throng of people outside our school, means there was a large group of people, okay? Your folks are your parents, okay? So you have to take this home to see your folks. Show your folks, it means you have to take it home to show your parents. An elder is just someone who's old, okay? So your grandparents are your elders, okay? The flanks, okay, is usually the side of a person or an animal, okay? And it's just above your hips. So if someone's talking about their flanks, it's up around their sides there. Oh, I like this word, strong-willed. If you're strong-willed, you want to do your own thing, even if others advise you not to. So you go, no, I'm going to do it, okay, all by myself. A blizzard. A blizzard is a very windy snowstorm, okay. So there's some of the words. Let's have a look at some other tricky ones. To holler. To holler is to yell loudly. So if someone is one side of a playground and you're the other one, you might holler out to them, yell loudly. Horse, if you're hoarse, okay, it means you've got a sore throat and you can't speak very well. The other horse, is in the animal, doesn't have an A in there, okay, but this horse means you've got a sore throat. A tundra, the tundra, is a large flat area usually covered in snow and ice. So if you're in the Arctic or Antarctic, okay, you'll see a tundra, okay. Heeded, okay, heed. To heed something is to pay attention or to listen to. So you should always heed your parents' advice. So listen to them and pay attention. Waftings, that's a very good word. Waftings is a smell that floats in the air. So usually when someone's cooking something, you'll get waftings, a smell of what they're cooking. And the last word we're going to look at is a ridge. Okay, and a ridge is a long, narrow hilltop. Okay, it's along the peak of a hill. Okay, so they are some of the words that you're going to hear in today's story. So let's get stuck into it now. I'm going to share our story now. And here it is. It is The Way Home for Wolf. Okay. So let's have a look. So I'm going to read the blurb now. So Wolf, didn't want help from anyone. Whatever it is, he can do it all by himself. But when he finds himself lost and alone in the chill of the Arctic night, Wolf discovers that sometimes we all need the helping hand of a friend. Okay. Here he is there. There's the wolves on top of a ridge, and they're all howling to the moon. As a rainbow of lights flickered soft in the night, dusting diamonds of ice in a desert of white. The wind, the wild whipping wind, it whistled its tune to a howling of wolves and a shimmering moon. And the loudest "Ow!" in this echoing song was a wolfling called Wolf at the heart of the throng. He loved to be fierce and longed to be grown. He liked to do everything, all on his own. Look at me, I am big, I am tough, he would growl, whilst he showed off his strength and he practiced his prowl. One night, it was time for the wolves to move on. New folks had moved in and their shelter was gone. So they left right away to find a new cave. They would have to walk far and they would have to be brave. Let's go, shouted Wolf. I'm ready to lead. You're too small, laughed the wolves. It's an elder we need. One day they advised him, you will guide from the front. I suppose, muttered Wolf with a huff and a grunt. They struggled through snow as high as their flanks and leapt over rocks as they scaled icy banks. Wolf gave his all to keep pace and to keep up, but strong-willed as he was still just a pup. He kept dropping back with each clamber and climb as the pack journeyed further away all the time. Exhausted and breathless, he strayed off the track when a blizzard blew in. He lost his way back. Oh no. Wolf longed to howl, help, and to hollow it loud, but his throat was too hoarse and his heart was too proud. He lay on the trunda, his tail curled up tight. A blanket of stars was his bed for the night, until crack went the ice. Crack and creak! Wolf jumped to all fours with a deafening shriek. He stuck out the claws on every limb. He had to hold on, because wolflings can't swim. Then he fell and he fell, rolling and spinning. It felt like the end, but it was just the beginning. Since somebody down there had heeded his scream, and she swept from beneath like a watery dream. I'll help you, she called. Just reach for my horn. A majestic and magical sea unicorn. Wilf's pride washed away, and he stretched out a paw as she lifted him gently back onto the shore. Don't worry, she sung before dipping her brow. My friend, Mr. Walrus, will help you out now. And there, right behind him, a huge tusky fellow lifted his whiskers and let out a bellow. To the ridge, he proclaimed with his chin in the air. My friend, mighty muskox, will take you from there. And with waftings of fish and a very loud snort, their journey was made and their travel seemed short. And there, sure enough, on the ridge was the ox, who took Wilf as far as his friend, Arctic Fox, who followed his nose through the trees to a goose, who guided him honking to the ancient moose. The moose knew these wilds like no other soul. He was steady and true in pursuit of their goal. And as twilight closed in, Moose sung out a call to a fluttering, tiny fluff ball. A bear moth, who showed Wolf the rest of the way to the place where this wolfling most wanted to stay. Thank you, Wolf waved as he rejoined his pack, and the wolves howled with joy that their wolfling was back. They huddled him in and cuddled him close and fussed over which wolf had missed him the most. Wolf, he knew then, that when all come together, the darkest of times was easy to weather. So he bowed to the narwhal, ox, walrus, and goose, and bowed to the fox and the moth and the moose. If ever I meet one who's strayed off their track, I'll help them along by guiding them back. And true to his word, Wolf is different now, and his world seems much smaller and warmer somehow. Since wherever life takes you, wherever you roam, we're all just a handful of friendships from home. Excellent work. So that is one of my favourite stories that I like to read with my class. Now, to help with our comprehension, I've actually got some questions to see how you go. So let's have a look at here. So there's some of those words we were reading. So to be proud, to have pride, has two different meanings. Okay. The first one is to be very satisfied with your own or a close friend's achievements. So if you do something, you can say, wow, I'm proud of that. I'm proud I completed all my math works. I'm proud I won that certificate. But to be proud, okay, is also to have a high opinion of yourself or to think you are very important. He was a proud, bossy man. So this kind of pride, to be proud of it, isn't usually a good one. Now, which one do you think Wolf had at the beginning of the story? Excellent work. He had this kind of pride, this proud. He thought he was bigger and stronger than what he really was. Okay, he thought he could do everything by himself, but really he still needed help. So let's have a look at these pictures here. So this is Wolf at the beginning of the story, howling really loud, saying, let me lead, let me lead. But then he's there, he's lost, and he's had to cuddle up on the tundra by himself. So his feelings are changing a little bit there. And then what happens? He falls through the crack. Now, what do you think would have happened here at this part of the story if Wolf didn't ask for the narwhal's help? Pause your video and I want you to write a quick sentence. It's saying, if Wolf didn't ask for help, what would have happened? So pause your video and do a quick sentence. Excellent, welcome back. So we should know now that if Wolf didn't ask for help from a narwhal, he would have ended up dying. He would have drowned because wolflings can't swim. So it was lucky that he got help. So in this story, we can see that Wolf changed from being very proud and thinking he can do everything by himself to asking for other people's help, okay, and then offering to help other people if they need it. Let's have a look at the next part. So this is an inference question. So to infer means you have to look for clues and then work out what it means. So I've got a sentence here. I suppose, muttered Wilf with a huff and a grunt. How is Wilf feeling? Is he feeling happy? Is he feeling sad? Is he feeling disappointed? Is he feeling angry or anxious? And how do you know that? Pause your video here and write me a quick sentence about how you think Wilf is feeling and why you know he's feeling like that. Welcome back. So yes, Wilf here is feeling a little bit disappointed. Okay, how do we know he's feeling disappointed? Because he's doing a huff and a grunt. It's kind of like when you don't get your own way. He goes, okay then. So he wanted to lead. He wanted to show everyone how big and strong he was, but they said you're not quite old enough. And he goes, oh, I suppose. Well done. Let's have a look here. Explain. So at the end of the story, Wilf has learned something about himself. Okay, at the beginning of the story, we talked about how he thought he could do everything all by himself. But at the end, what happened? Okay, I want you to pause the video now and just write a short sentence about what Wilf learned about himself by the end of the book. Welcome back. So by the end of the book, Wilf learned that if he needed help, okay, if he was stuck, it's okay to ask someone to help him. Okay, and through the story, he had lots of people who helped him. He had the narwhal, he had the walrus, he had the moose, he even had a tiny little moth that helped him all the way back to his family. And without all those people helping him, all those animals helping him, he would have been lost and not been able to find it. So Wilf learned that it's okay sometimes to ask for help. Now, the last part of the story is a sequencing. I've got 5 sentences here. Wilf was reunited with the rest of the pack. Wilf got separated from the rest of the pack. A narwhal came and rescued Wilf. Lots of animals helped Wilf find his way home. The wolves had to move out of their cave. So I want you to pause the video here and write these sentences down in the correct order. Which one happened first? Which one happened next? Okay, and then all the way from number 1 through to number 5. Pause the video now. Welcome back. So let's have a look. What was the first thing that happened in the story? That's right, number 1. The wolves had to move out of their cave. Okay, the bear came in to live with them. What happened after that? Did a narwhal come and rescue Wilf? No. Wilf got separated from the rest of the pack. So what happened after that? That's right. Then the narwhal came. And not only did the narwhal come, but lots of other animals came as well. Until finally Wilf got home with the rest of the pack. So there you go, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed reading that story. We're going to be using that story for a lot of our other English lessons. Okay, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow for another English lesson. And you never know, Oliver Otter might pop in to say hello as well. Take care. Bye.